the presenter. Okay, so let us start the presentation with the first presentation, and the first presentation is by, yes, Khushbu will start with the first presentation. Yes, Khushbu, you can start now.
Good afternoon, respected sir and my dear friends. Today I am going to present on cultural studies of Gujarat state.
Sound coming from some bird is chirping. That sound is coming. Yeah. Okay. Continue.
Okay, so today I am going to tell about the Gujarat, that how if we are a foreigner or even if belonging to Gujarat state itself, then how we are able to see the different cultures and diversities in the Gujarat state itself. These are the two important reference books from which I have taken taken some hints. These books I have with just now also. You can see. And this is the national anthem of Gujarat. Jai Jai Garvi Gujarat. Jai Jai Garvi Gujarat, Deepe Arun Parvat, ध्वज प्रकाश से जरड़ कसुम्बी प्रेम शौर्यंकित. So this is the complete anthem. I'm not going to sing the whole. And it is written by Kavi Narmad. So what culture means now in cultural studies? Culture is the mode of generating meanings and ideas. This mode is a negotiation over which meanings are valid. Meanings are governed by power relations. Elite culture controls meanings because it controls the terms of the debate. Non-elite views on life and art are rejected as tasteless, useless, or even stupid by elite. What this implies is that certain components of culture get more visibility and significance. So we can see that culture is not only what we study in literature, but culture is what we see in day-to-day life, what we see in social media, in newspapers, and in life around us. So culture is about everywhere, that places we visit and we travel also. Here I'm taking considering only Gujarat. So we see that different places we visit and how the things are going on in this particular place, how the things people work, how things are celebrated, how the year is passed throughout, and how people live their daily lives. So these topics I am going to highlight today. Major topics are religious. So in Gujarat, main things are based on people believe a lot in religion, the story and the glory of Gujarat. Major cities of Gujarat, we all know that Ahmedabad, Surat, and Baroda are three main cities of Gujarat. Then wildlife sanctuaries. We have Gir Sanctuary, which is very famous and known worldwide. Festivals and fairs. In Gujarat, we know that Navratri is the longest dance festival, and it is celebrated for 9 days. And we have Kite Flying Day. In Ahmedabad, the International Kite Flying Day is celebrated, and people from foreign places also come and celebrate the festival here. Then we have many architecture and monuments which are there in Gujarat, and museums also. Major other topics are Gujarati literature. To study the culture, we also need to study the literature. Industries of Gujarat, textiles and handicraft institutions, heritage, hotels, medical tourism, art, culture, and religion. So these are some important points we need to look upon when we study a culture of a particular place. Uthe Singh Jain Temple, it is located in Ahmedabad, and Ahmedabad is an amazing place that reflects the perfect harmony of diverse religions. It is known for its rich culture, fascinating history, and welcoming people. Another is Akshardham Temple in Gandhinagar. It is located in Gujarat. Akshardham literally means the divine abode of God. It is an eternal place for one to offer devotion and experience everlasting peace. Swaminarayan Akshardham at Gandhinagar is a mandir, a Hindu house of worship, a dwelling place for God, and a spiritual and cultural campus dedicated to devotion, education, and unification. Then we have Gir National Park, the heart of nature, uh, to protect Asiatic lions along with leopards and antelopes. So in this national park, many wild animals are protected and they are not allowed to hunt. And even trees are not allowed to cut in this park. There are many varieties of trees, like we can find biological diversity in here, like mixed deciduous forest interspersed with semi-evergreen and evergreen trees, scrub jungle, large patches of grasslands, and rocky hills. It is the largest dry deciduous forest in western India. Then we have Navratri, festivals and fests. Navratri in Gujarat means a 9-night festival full of dance, music, and lot of fun. The dance form that is performed during Navratri is Ras Garba, which is also sometimes followed by Dandiya. The atmosphere during the festival is eclectic and joyful. In this festival, we know that all people, most of the people go and enjoy with various colorful decorative dresses. Then Ahmedabad. Kite flying is celebrated all over the Gujarat, but it is not celebrated throughout the India. Only in a few states it is celebrated. And in some places, the kite flying is celebrated at the day of Independence Day. But in Gujarat, it is celebrated on 14th of January and also known as Makar Sankranti. It is a special market for kite that appears in the old city. Kite Festival in Ahmedabad is a part of the official celebration of Uttarayan, drawing master kite makers and flyers from all around the world to exhibit their unique creations and arts and stun the crowds with highly amazing kites. And here in this festival, we know that kites of various types of shapes and animals and all the different types of kites are made. And people show their talent of artistic talent and all that in making of the kites and also in flying them. Then we have Adalat Stepwell in Gandhinagar. Adalat Stepwell is a stepwell located in the village of Adalat, close to Ahmedabad city and in Gandhinagar district in the Indian state of Gujarat, and considered a fine example of Indian architecture work. It was built in 1498 in the memory of Rana Veer Singh by his wife Queen Ruda Devi. So this type of stepwells are now not built, but these places which are built in the past shows that those times of architects were very powerful, and what they made at that time are still available at present also. But nowadays, some kinds of buildings and all that are made are collapsed within few years. So we can say that although the technology has advanced so much, but still that much marvel we are not able to get in construction and architecture as much as it was there in those days. Then we have Nilambak Palace, which is located in Bhavnagar. In the year 1879, Maharaja Sahib Takht Singh Ji of Bhavnagar commissioned the German architect Sims to design the Nilambak Palace that for generations has remained the home of erstwhile royal family of Bhavnagar. And just now, also it is the cultural heritage of Bhavnagar, and it is still as beautiful as it was at that time also. Although renovations are taking place from time to time, but it is still as beautiful as it was in previous times. And this now it is converted into a hotel, and people has, arrange many events and functions in that hotel. Tal Hospital is an internationally accredited multi-specialty hospital located in Ahmedabad, Gujarat, India. Founded in 2001, today it is one of the largest private hospitals in Gujarat with 300 beds and over 10 specialty centers. Tal Hospital offers the state-of-art diagnostic, therapeutic, and intensive care facilities in one-stop medical center. So this is very famous and very important hospital of Gujarat. And we know that many people from foreign countries also come for their diagnosis and treatment to this hospital in Ahmedabad. And many facilities are available in this hospital, and a very good treatment is given over here. Then we have Gujarati literature. Gujarati literature is nowhere behind. It is many of the writers are there in Gujarati also since many ancient times, and this is nowhere lacking behind as comparison if we compare it with English literature or any other literature. We have many famous writers like Jawarchand Meghani. He was national poet. Mahatma Gandhi, whose very famous book Satyana Prayogo. Then Kalapi, Sundaram, Manubai Pancholi, Kanhayalal Munshi, Umashankar Joshi, Sitansu, Yashas Chandra, Chandrakant Bakshi, Ramesh Parekh, Pannalal Patel, Kavi Nanalal, Mirabai, Okho Premanand, Kavi Dalpatram, Narsi Rao. All these great writers have contributed very significantly in making our literature very rich. They have shown the culture of that time, the surroundings of that time, to tell to show the culture of that time. Then we have Amul Industry. Uh, Amul is an Indian dairy cooperative society based at Anand in the Indian state of Gujarat, formed in 1946. It is a cooperative brand managed by a cooperative body, the Gujarat Cooperative Milk Marketing Federation Limited, which today is jointly owned by 3.6 million milk producers in Gujarat and the apex body of 13 district milk unions is spread across 13,000 villages of Gujarat. Amul spurred India's white revolution, which made the country world's largest producer of milk and milk products. So today, Amul is the biggest company of India, and many of the now Amul products are available. Like it has grown very vastly, and through all the many years, and we know that it was formed in 1946. So by this many years, it is producing so many things. We all know that cheese, butter, bread, and everything. And the milk is also very much of good quality of this company. Then we have many other industries like Reliance Industries, Nirma Limited, Torrent Group, Gujarat Adani Port, Tidus, Cadila Healthcare Limited, Irvin Mills, Cadila Pharmaceuticals, Diamond Industries in Ahmedabad and Surat, diesel engines, oil mills in Rajkot. So Reliance Industries, it produces many of the products, homemade products, food products, and even petrol, oil, and diesel also. Then we have Nirma Limited. It is also producing many products like for soap and powder and everything. Then we have Torrent Group, which is related to pharmaceuticals, and many medicines are very of very good qualities. Medicines are made in this Torrent Group. Then we have Gujarat Adani Port Limited. In this also, ships are yeah, ships are managed over here. Then we have Zydus Cadila Healthcare Limited. In this also it is a pharmaceutical company. In this also very good quality medicines are made, and it has contributed a lot to the field of medicine and pharmacy. Then we have Irvin Mills Limited. This is a textile industry, and Gujarat is very much front in the textile industries. Then we have Cadila Pharmaceuticals Limited. It is so we can see that here also three companies are there of pharmaceuticals. So Gujarat is very much ahead in pharmacy in making medicines, and it is even supplying to other states and even in foreign countries also. Then we have diamond industries in Ahmedabad and Surat. Many of the diamonds are made in Gujarat, especially in Ahmedabad and Surat. In Bhavnagar also we have the diamond industries. Then we have diesel engines and oil mills in Rajkot. Then textiles and handicrafts. Gujarat is very much famous for textiles and handicraft. Some specials are Patola of Patan, Sujani, Mashru, Khadi, Badani, embroidery, handicraft heritage, jewelry of Gujarat, beadwork, wood carving, metalwork, terracotta. So Gujarat is very much famous for the architect and for the artistic talents in all various fields. In the fields of textiles, in the field of making some arty crafts, handicrafts, and even metalwork, woodwork, and even terracotta. Then Gujarat Science City. This science city is very much helpful to us to build the scientific attitude in us, and it is very much. It will be good if all of us at least visit this once. It will help us to develop the scientific temperament and to know the field of science and technology in much more better way. This Gujarat Science City is a bold initiative by the government to popularize science and promote scientific temperament among the communities of Gujarat. Then we have Space Center in Ahmedabad. Gujarat is nowhere behind. We have seen that in all the fields, whether it is religion, whether it is textile or pharmacy or medicine or whichever fields, architect, Gujarat, even in literature also, Gujarat is ahead in all the fields. So we can see that the culture of Gujarat is very rich. Here also we have Space Center. Space Application Center at Ahmedabad is spread across two campuses having multidisciplinary activities. The core competence of the center lies in development of spaceborne and airborne instruments, payloads, and their applications for national development societal benefits. So, Space Center is working on many things like astronomy and planets and rockets and all that, and it is studying all these things. And with the help of telescope, also they are continuously doing observations and making experiments to observe certain things and invent new things. Then we have Sardar Sarovar project. It is concrete gravity dam on Narmada River in Kevadia near Navagam, Gujarat. It is the second largest concrete dam in the world in terms of volume of concrete used to construct the dam after Grand College Dam in United States. These are my citations. Thank you.
Okay, you can stop presenting. And yeah, your work, let me overview. Let me share the screen. Okay, so good. You have performed very well, 91.5% throughout the semester. So your performance is quite good in that. You can mute your mic, so my voice may not come back again. Okay. Yes, so that is good, 91.5, and your work is almost done. You have completed all your work. So there is no missing task also. So that also displays your regularity and sincerity throughout the semester. Okay, test this political compass aptitude for cultural studies test that we have taken, and you are standing here. That is, yeah, I'm sharing that screen. Somewhere in between, towards quite a left and libertarian angle. There you are, standing there. So all of you also might have studied your graph also, your certificate in graph, where you might have seen that people like politicians and writers are taken here. Politicians, thinkers, writers, philosophers. So you have Donald Trump, you have Narendra Modi, you have Joe Biden, so famous politicians. And then Mahatma Gandhi is also there. Ayn Rand, you see at the right far, right bottom, right hand side bottom, there is one lady having a hairstyle like Abdul Kalam, black color hair. You see that lady? That is Ayn Rand, A-Y-N-R-A-N-D, Ayn Rand. So remember this writer. She is on the far right, liberal. She is liberal. At the bottom, you see libertarian. Yes, libertarian. At the top, it is authoritarian. At the top is authoritarian. This Joseph Stalin is very authoritative. Even Joe Biden is, Donald Trump was. They are authoritative leaders. Yeah? And at the bottom, you have more liberal people there. So she is liberal, but very far right kind of a thing. Far right. I will share one or two memes about Ayn Rand. Now, if you understand this position of Ayn Rand, she is a novelist, then those memes can be understood. That those people who are on the left side, or leftist or Marxist, they will perhaps have a problem with Ayn Rand. They will have a problem with Ayn Rand. That is because she is on the farthest right. Nobody is much on the right side than Ayn Rand. Mahatma Gandhi is completely opposite, completely left. You see on the opposite side of this, and the right, left, and authoritarian, libertarian. Yeah. So you are at the center. Though in the morning also we were seeing most of the students are on the left side. On the left, few are on the borderline, and then in the same column, normally left, libertarian. Now that is normal position of any literature student. Literature student normally become little bit left oriented and little bit liberal also in their outlook also. So that also gets reflected, and most of you perhaps will be there. If you are on this column where you find Donald Trump, Joe Biden, Narendra Modi, then it is problematic. that column is problematic column. On this side also there is Stalin, Mao, that also is problematic. Upper side is a little bit problematic thing. The lower side, and lower also, whether you are very rightist or leftist, that it tries to tell. Okay, so these are your points. Now coming to your topic, this that you are talking about culture. Now, see, this is one of the grave mistakes that people make when they talk about culture and cultural studies. Now, what you are talking is a kind of a thing that if you are talking about tourism, if you want to sell Gujarat and you want to talk about tourism in Gujarat and you want to tell people that come in Gujarat, there is such a beautiful thing, then it is fine. Then it is that way of talking about culture is you are marketing a culture. That is what you do. So you prepared very beautiful slides, colorful slides, beautiful photographs, content-wise, all the slides where everything were good. But you have to understand the difference between culture and cultural studies. Now, try to remember that we studied so many part of the world, America, Mexico. We were studying many writers, British, Britain. But have we ever appreciated any of the part of that world? How we looked at America, which is superpower, very rich, far better than Gujarat. Obviously, you will agree that America, obviously, either is cleanliness or churches or even temples in America. You will find far better if you want to see industries. Silicon Valley, you will not find anywhere. Nobody from the foreign world is coming to do job in Reliance. But people are going to Silicon Valley. But what we did with America, how we watched that video, if you remember, twice we watched. America has a problem. One girl was standing and asking that, why is America the greatest country in the world? And then that person said, it is not. It is not the greatest country. Your question itself is very faulty. So what were we doing actually, if you remember, in cultural studies? It was that cultural studies is not reverential. It is not reverential. Reverence એટલે કોઈના પ્રત્યે આદર કે હોય એ જરાય ન રહેવા દે કલ્ચરલ સ્ટડીઝ. તમારું આખું પ્રેઝન્ટેશન પ્રશંસી જેવું હતું. પ્રશંસા તમે ગુજરાતની ઉતારતા હો, આરતી ઉતારતા હો, જય જય ગરવી ગુજરાત, એ પ્રકારનું હતું. So it goes completely against the very notion of cultural studies. It goes completely opposite to it. So if you refer to that book you showed, no, Cultural Introduction by Pramod K. Nair. Now, where do you find such things in that? Where you appreciate your industry, you appreciate your kite festivals, or you appreciate your temples? Is there anywhere written anything that you can connect and say, see, here it is written, so I am showing you this? That is integrating your source. That is what we call integrating your. So there, if it is written that you talk a lot about your beautiful temples when you do cultural studies, and then you bring, then it is integrated. But you will not find anywhere. Have you seen anywhere in the entire cultural studies classes, if you remember, have we anywhere appreciated anything? Any one or two example also? We normally have taken a deconstructive angle, and we have told right from the beginning when we are talking about deconstruction, that it is from deconstruction that all these things are emerging. Feminism is emerging from that. New historicism is emerging from that. Cultural studies is emerging from that. So it is irreverential. The studies are irreverential. So I went to find a book to give you an example, literary example, but I was not able to find it. Nirav Patel has written a Gujarati collection of poetry. Brahiskrit Fulo. Brahiskrit, જેને તિરસ્કાર કરતા હોય એવા પુષ્પો, ફૂલો, એ ટાઇટલ છે એમના collection of poem નું. Nirav Patel is a Dalit voice. Nirav Patel is a Dalit voice. તો એમણે એમાં ગરબા ને એ બધાનો ઉપયોગ કર્યો છે. જે નવરાત્રી પતંગ ઉડાડવાનું હોય એ બધાનો I think one poem we read from that collection. Do you remember anybody remembers anything? One poem? Operation Equality. જાણ્યા બુજ્યા વગર તું ત્રાટક્યો કચ્છમાં ધરતીકંપ આવ્યું હતું. એ આપણે વાંચ્યું હતું ન્યૂ ક્રિટિસિઝમમાં. આપણે આ રિચર્સ ભણતા હતા ત્યારે એ પોયમ. એ કલેક્શનમાં આ બીજી 2-3 પોયમો આવી છે કે તમે ગરબાને કઈ રીતે જુઓ અથવા તમે પતંગ ઉડાડવાને કઈ રીતે જુઓ. એટલે એ એક કનો એંગલ ગરીબ લોકોનો એંગલ, ગરીબ લોકોથી એ વાત કરે અને પછી એ મૂકે ત્યાં એ વાત. That is to be studied. That angle is very important when you study this cultural studies also. And this is a huge problem. Many people take cultural studies as a research work. So we have to tell them that how do you look at the culture that you want to study. If you have a high sense of respect and you will not be able to speak anything against the culture, then better don't do cultural studies. Better don't. Otherwise your reverence will crumble down. It is highly irreverential. It breaks any kind of reverence towards anything that is there. That is very important in study. So that perhaps you have missed that very important point, which obviously many people are missing, but it is good that you presented. So we got a chance to talk with people, to everybody also, that reverence is not something seminal to cultural studies. Irreverence. Obviously English studies is highly irreverential. English studies તમે જો પહેલેથી જોતા આવો તો તમને ખ્યાલ આવશે કે I think in your class we studied Macbeth. શેક્સપિયર ભણતા હોય તો એ આપણે કહીએ કે એવી પણ વાત છે કે શેક્સપિયર નામનું કોઈ છે જ નહીં. એનોનિમસ આપણે એ પણ ચર્ચા કરી હતી. આપણે શેખર કપૂરની ફિલ્મની વાત કરી કે જે એલિઝાબેથને તોડી નાખે છે. જે લોકો નારાજ થાય છે કે એલિઝાબેથ અમારી ડિવાઇન રાણી અને પેલો એમને એક બીજી જગ્યાએ. તો what were we doing? You were bringing down the reverence towards Queen or towards Shakespeare, or when you come down to Virginia Woolf or T.S. Eliot, they all are lesbian, they all are gay. So imagine આપણે કોઈ તમારા જાણીતા આજુબાજુના કવિ હોય ને એવી વાત આવે કે આ તો આવા છે, તો આપણે કેમ જોઈએ? સમાજમાં લોકો કેમ જોઈએ? સેલ્ફી પાડી હોય તો સંતાડવી પડે ક્યાંક. આપણે એના ભેગો ફોટો લીધો તો આપણે સંતાડવા માંડીએ કે આની તો બહુ ખરાબ હવા ઉડી છે. આવું આપણે નોર્મલી ભણીએ છીએ. So that way you see, and this is not liked by many of these rightist people in UK and America also. એમને પણ નથી ગમતું. એ ઉલ્લેખ પણ આપણે કર્યો હતો. આનિયા લુમ્બાનું આર્ટિકલ જોતા હતા ત્યારે કે હવે આ બધા કન્ટ્રીઝમાં આપણા સાહિત્યકારોને કેમ ભણે છે? તો કે એ બધા લેસ્બિયન ને ગે ને એવું છે, એવું બધું ભણે છે આ બધા. આ તો આપણી ઇજ્જત આબરૂના ધજાગરા એના ક્લાસમાં ઉડાવે છે. આ ફરિયાદ છે કોની? પશ્ચિમના લોકો. But this is English studies. This is how it is. So everywhere, whether it is, so મનમાં એમ ન થાય કે આ તો ગુજરાતના વખાણ કરે એટલે તકલીફ પડી ને આપણે શેક્સપિયરની સાથે આવું કર્યું છે, એલિઝાબેથ સાથે આવું અને કરતા જ આવ્યા છે સતત in a part of a study. That is that. અને એનો જ એક ભાગ છે cultural studies. So that point is very important to be seen in that. Though I don't know whether I have not made that very clear during our studies or what. કે એટલે કદાચ આ રીતે કલ્ચરને જોઈ લીધું કલ્ચરલ સ્ટડીઝમાં, પણ ઘણા બધા આવી ભૂલો કરતા હોય છે. બટ આઈ હોપ નાઉ યુ વિલ કરેક્ટ યોરસેલ્ફ એન્ડ અધર પીપલ ઓલ્સો. કોઈ લોકો પણ સંસ્કૃતિની પ્રશંસા માટે સાંસ્કૃતિક અભ્યાસ કરતા હોય તો તમારે એને રોકવાના કે ભાઈ ઉભા રહો, પેલા તમારે કોને રેમન્ડ વિલિયમ્સને વાંચ્યા તમે? ત્યાંથી આ શરૂ થાય છે બધું, રેમન્ડ વિલિયમ્સ ને એ બધાથી. તો આ તો એમની ગાઈડ બુક છે પ્રમોદ કે નાયરની. તો એમણે સિમ્પ્લિફાઈ કરીને મૂક્યું. એમણે વિચારો નથી આપ્યા. સેમિનલ વર્ક આને ન કહેવાય. આને સ્ટુડન્ટ્સના ઉપયોગ માટે લેવાતું એક સાહિત્ય કહેવાય કે જે થોડી ગાઈડ બુક કરતા ક્વોલિટી સારી છે આની, એ રીતે. પણ પ્રમોદ કે નાયર ઇઝ નોટ ધ પાયોનિયર ઓફ આઈડિયા. પાયોનિયર ઓફ આઈડિયામાં તમારે રેમન્ડ વિલિયમ્સ ને એ બધા, સ્ટુઅર્ટ હોલ અને ત્યાંથી શરૂ થાય. અને ધેટ ઓલ કમ્સ ઓલ્સો. સો વેન યુ વોન્ટ ટુ સાઇટ and show the book, તો એ રેમન્ડ વિલિયમ્સ ની એની બુક બતાવવી પડે. તો લોકોને એમ થાય કે ના સરસ તમે આ વાંચ્યું. તમે આપણે આ બુક લઈને જઈને બતાવીએ તો લોકોને એમ થાય કે ના ઠીક, હજી તમને યુ ડોન્ટ નો વોટ ઇઝ ગુડ બુક. નાઉ સી વી હેવ ટુ ટેલ, બીકોઝ આવી ભૂલ હવે તમે બહાર ન કરો એટલા માટે. This all thing, એટલે that point is still not getting clear કે what is study material and what is seminal work. એ હજી ઘણી વખત ક્લિયર થતું નથી. આજે સવારે જ કોઈએ પાછું યુકે એસેઝ માંથી સાઇટ કરેલું હતું. યસ, પીના હેઝ cited again from UK essays website માંથી એમણે citation કરેલું હતું. So well, but I hope maybe next semester things will get more clear. Seminal works, seminal book, and the basic propositions are very, very important to be seen in cultural studies also. It is highly controversial, cultural studies. આમાં તમે જે પ્રેઝન્ટ કર્યુંમાં કઈ કોન્ટ્રોવર્સિયલ નથી. કશું જ એવું કોન્ટ્રોવર્સિયલ તમે વાત કરી, એક પણ વાત કે કોન્ટ્રોવર્સિયલ હોય? There's nothing. So we have studied cultural studies is highly controversial. આપણે એ પણ પ્રશ્ન થાય કે શું કામ કોન્ટ્રોવર્સી ભણાવવી, એ પણ પ્રશ્નની ચર્ચા કરી હતી. એમાં એ પણ આવે છે કે why teach controversy to students, એ પણ. Okay, fine. So okay, next presenter is